Okay. Hey, everybody. Looks like we are streaming now. Welcome back. I think everything's going good. Um, so it is March 5th, and we are live streaming. I just want to say welcome to everybody. Today, what I'd like to do is go over. I went to a protest yesterday at Fox News headquarters. It was a 50-51 protest, which I was just researching and getting into. We're going to go to the 50-51 subreddit and check that out. We're also going to um, what else do I want to do today? We're also going to check out the general New York City protest schedules. I've got a good website that kind of lays it all out for you. And we're going to yeah, we're gonna start there. All right. So let me go into what I was. Let's see. Hold on. I'm making sure the stream's working. Um, Hold on. Still working out all the kinks, so just bear with me for a second. Um, I just want to make sure all the links are working. I don't think it's up yet. Hold on. Here we go. And okay, great. All right, so that should be working. I just want to make sure the link works. Let's see. Boom, bam, boom, bam, beam. Okay, so we're here, and then we're here, and it's working. Great. Whoa. Inception live stream. Okay, great. Okay, so let's see. We are going to check out the stream. All right, so this is what great. So this is what I want to do. Let's check out the 50-51 subreddit. I was at the protest yesterday. Let's see if what we got for New York. Let's see if anybody else posted stuff here. Um, Wait a second. Loading. Great. Protest on Broadway. I don't know what that is. Oh, Kingston, New York. So it looks like, okay, yeah, here. This is from yesterday too. I remember this guy being here. It was a very nice mask. It was a good turnout. I want to go and look at. We're gonna go through my videos. It was just kind of interesting. I was more of an observer and not a participant, but this is this is a pretty good idea of how many people were there. I would say 300-400 people. It was really loud. I got there about a half an hour late, but it was nice. It was nice to see. Um, it was cool. All right, so let's look at let's go to my photos. All right, so we're gonna go and queue up. Let's see where we here. All right, and there we go. Okay, so let's make sure we're up. And to the cut. Why is that not working? I'm gonna bring this to the front. Okay, 1 second. Why is it not up there? Okay, so got working. I can't get my Photos app to come to the front on OBS. I don't know why. Why is the Photos app not working? Give me a second. Yeah, it's so weird. If I hide that. Okay, there we go. Good. All right, so we're gonna do that. Okay, so these are the photos from yesterday. I started, I live off the J train, so took the J train in to the M, yeah. So these were my adventures yesterday. Just kind of calibrating. I have a Canon 7D, so I just wanted to make sure my exposure settings were right. This was the Marcy stop. I love architecture, so I took a couple shots. I love the subway, I love the train, I love New York, I love it all. So this is the Marcy Avenue stop. This guy was walking across the tracks, doing some maintenance or something. Yeah, it was really cool. And then when I got there, the first thing I noticed was NYPD flying drones. So yeah, they were flying their drones around. It was unsettling. This is the first thing you see when you get off the subway. And if shit gets really bad, we end up getting into a police state, and people are trying to exercise their will to protest, and this is the kind of thing you're going to have to deal with. Drones flying in the sky, big huge police presence. It was very kind of eye-opening. The first thing there, this is what you saw. Flying high above everything. So yeah, it was very it was kind of off-putting. I would have to say that that's the kind of thing, that's what we're dealing with. Lots of police. It's just did I feel threatened? Were they assholes? No. But it's just, these are the kind of things you see like in the beginning of a movie before everything goes to shit. And then when shit does go to shit, these guys are ready to pounce, and they've got their drones flying in the sky. And it all seems to me like it's kind of like a little training session for them. So it was a pretty good turnout. I would say there was a couple hundred people there. It was very lively. Let's take a look at this. I'm gonna edit all this too. I'm gonna edit this and probably put a video together and put it up on my channel. So, but this is all just the raw stuff. So I'm looking at it kind of the first time, along with you guys. So, It was nice and very loud. I feel like it was a good place to do it. Lots of people very upset. Um, yeah, so then I got closer. It was nice. I like the signs. I love the people. I would have honestly, I would have liked to see more young people there. It was kind of an older crowd. This is the middle of the day on a Tuesday. Um, so, you're not going to have a lot of working people out there. I had the day off. Um, but it was I like this lady knew exactly what I was doing, so she had her sign up. It was great. Um, what else we got going on here? Um, yeah, it was good. It's hopefully we're just getting started. It was good, but it's also, it's tough to get a feel for, where all of this is going, whether people are pissed off enough to really make their voices heard in the streets. This was nice. It was a nice show of force, but I mean, a couple hundred people outside Fox News for an hour or two, how much impact is that going to make? To me, being there, it was a little underwhelming. It was nice to see, but it was a little underwhelming. I would have loved to have seen more more people involved. Um, I would have loved to have seen more, um, just more people there. Um, yeah. So it was, yeah. It's kind of, it's I don't know. I feel like it's a little depressing in a way. It's nice to see people stepping up and protesting and holding up signs at the State of the Union, but it's I think it's got to ramp up a whole lot more before people start taking notice and before people start taking the protesters, us, seriously, because it's not effective enough. And you hear that from the Democrats, and you hear that criticism of the Democrats, but it's also on us too. And a couple hundred people outside Fox News for a couple hours is good, but it needs to be more. I just feel like it needs to be more people. There needs to be more people involved. Um, you think you know of huge protests lately, and you just don't see that in the United States. I think we're still really divided, and I think we're not upset enough to really get out there and make a difference. Um, um, it's it's almost kind of cute, and it's you it's like it's almost gimmicky. Everybody's like they're upset, but they're also kind of like hanging out. I don't know. It's like the vibe. I wasn't like I wasn't too impressed with the vibe. I don't think people are uh, upset enough to really make a difference. Um, it, you know, And I kind of saw that too in the people watching. Like everybody, they had the barricades set up, and the cops were on the other side of the barricades, and there were some people from inside the building coming out to look. They were looking, but again, it was like a novelty for them. It was like, oh, isn't this cute? Um, and it's just not. I just don't think we're having the effect that we want it to right now. Um, and I think it's got to change. It's got to be a little bit different. It's got to be a little more scary. I think, right? Because I mean, what you know, what is this? What is this gonna do? How is it gonna change things if you just have a couple hundred people showing up? Um, what it's I don't know. I don't know if it's enough to change things right now. It's got to really ramp up. Um, and yeah, that's kind of what I think. And you can see it. I just think of protests overseas too, like the protests there were in France last year or a year or two ago. There were big protests in other countries, and it's like you see, it's like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people just like mobbing the streets, shutting down everything, and you just don't see that in the United States. You don't see that. You don't see that level of commitment and that level of hatred of anger towards the government. You don't see that. There's a lot of talk online. There's a lot of posts online, and it seems like we're like living. That's where we all live right now. We live online, and we're not getting out and making a difference. And I think there needs to be more of that. Um, yeah, so I want to see, let's see some pictures of recent protests overseas, like in France, and I think, what was it? Was it Romania or Georgia? I think it was Georgia. So let's see. Let's see what we got online with that. I think French protests. Um, it was a couple years ago. Um, it was a couple years ago they were changing the retirement age or something um in response to national party dissolution of party snap elections. Okay, so it was kind of political, but it was like there were so many people. I mean, it's like, it's like they just mobbed the street. It's, the pension reform. This was over pension reform. I mean, look at this. Look at look at look at it. I mean, it's more than 1 million people, more than 1 million protests across France. It's like huge. It's crazy. It's awesome to look at this. To look at that many people, and we just don't have that in the United States right now. Maybe for George Floyd, 2020, those protests, but we're not seeing it. I don't see it here yet. Um, um, what was the other country? Uh, Overseas protests. Um, let's see. There was protests in Gaza. There was I forget where exactly it was. I should have done some research about this, but anyway, um, um, but yeah, it was. I mean, let's keep looking. Let's go back and look at some more of the photos, but um, let's see. Um, I had this, I had this video going on. It was pretty good. I mean, what's it gonna take? Like, it's like, what's it gonna take? The pain from the tariffs to start setting in before we really, get people involved, spreading. It takes some bravery to come out. I kind of moped around in the morning, like, do I really want to go do this? And I had to really kind of convince myself to do it because it's just, it's nicer to stay home. It's nicer to just hang out on the couch and not do anything, or get your laundry done instead. You make excuses for staying at home and not going out. Um, you know, but you have to, it's important, and you gotta make it happen. And how's it gonna, how are you gonna make it happen? How are you gonna motivate these people? Take their jobs away, take their money away, make them pay more in taxes. Um, how is it? How can you get people to go? How can you get people to get out of their house? Like, what's the tipping point? You know, um, it's it's a question that doesn't have a lot of real answers right now. It's kind of like I think of like Brave New World or Fahrenheit 451. It's like we're all kind of taking drugs, we're all sedated. And I think, our phones have sedated us, right? Because we live in our phones. We see the protests on their phone, on the phones, and we participate by liking posts or retweeting something, or sharing something to our story. And in a way that makes you feel involved, in a way that makes you feel like you've contributed to the discourse and contributed to the protests. But what we really need to do is to get out, put our phones down, get out of the house, go to a protest, and make your make your voice heard together with lots of people. And until we start doing it, uh, in mass, and shutting down Fox News, right? You get so many people that nobody can get in and out of the building, that cars can't pull up, that people that are trying to come into Fox News to for an interview or something, can't get in the building, and they have to go on Fox News and say, "Oh, we have to cancel." That's making a difference. That's having an effect on things. Going out. You know, this is, like I said, it's really nice to see these protests and to see them organized and to see people show up, but it's got to be, there needs to be way more people than there are right now. Um, Hopefully it'll ramp up. Hopefully it'll happen. But and like I said, it was encouraging, but I just don't. I was underwhelmed when I got there. That's for sure. Um, and there needs to be more. There needs to be more, or else it's just going to be a cute little thing that Fox News and people in the building come out and say, "Oh, isn't this? Oh, huh, that's funny." And they got funny signs, but it doesn't affect me at all. You got to shut it down. You have to. You got to shut it down. You got to bring so many people to Washington that people can't get inside the building. You know, nothing violent, but you can affect change with with you know a show of force, a show of bodies, like hundreds of thousands of people not going to work, showing up somewhere, shutting down something. That's how you do it. That's the goal, I think, of protesting, and we need to start doing it more. And unless you can convince people in mass to do that, it's not going to happen, and it's just going to be a cute little thing. Um, so on that note, if you live in New York City and you want to show up and you want to make a change and you want to go to these protests, there's this website, and I'll post a link below. You know what? I'll post it in the chat. Um, and um, let's see. Let's post it in the chat. Ba, 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 ba. Here, I'll post it in the chat right now. It's called Protest One. Right here. Here we go. Ba, ba, ba. 1 second. Go. Ba, ba, ba. So it's called Protest One. So if you live in New York City, I don't know if it's for just New York, but I think it is. But it has all the events for the month, everything coming up. Oh my god, so sorry, I'm tired. Um, so here we go. This is today. It's Wednesday. Um, and Wednesday. Here we go. Wednesday the 5th. So today in New York City, we have Don't Shill for Shell. This is down on Light and Varick Street, 8 a.m. You can filter it. They've got aid campaigns, meet and greets, fundraisers, art exhibitions, protests, rallies, vigils, and it's just got everything lined up. Truth Tuesdays at Fox. It's a nice way to see what's going on if you have the day off, where you can go, where you can get involved. It's got links to all their socials over here, and it's it's a good way. It's a good way to organize everything, and it's all in one place. This is where I found yesterday's. This is where I found yesterday's march and rally, which was this March for Truth, sponsored by 5051. And yeah, so you guys should go to that website if you want to get involved, and if you want to show up and see what's going on your day off, or if you just can't take it anymore and you want to get involved. That's this website, like I put in the chat. You go there, and that's where you can find out what's going on. Yeah, Pro One, independent, keeping you focused. We're a small team of independent journalists, artists, and hand-to-mouth freelancers providing pro bono coverage of happenings on the ground in NYC and Philadelphia. Um, yeah, so it's good. Um, Maybe I should get involved. I definitely am taking my camera to any additional protests and rallies that I go to. I think it's important to document and spread on social media that these things are happening and encourage other people to get involved. Like I said before, not but just by passively liking and sharing posts, but you need to get out. You need to get out. You need to go to these things. If get off your phone or bring your phone. Bring your phone to the protests and document them there. Bring friends because it needs to be more. It needs to be more people. It needs to be filling the streets, shutting it down, um, obstructing in a very nonviolent and obtrusive way, um, and really having a show of force. Um, like I was saying before, I don't really feel like I'm seeing it. I wish I was. Everything I see online and what I saw yesterday. Um, Let me see. And what I saw yesterday um, was encouraging, but it was not. It was not what I thought it was going to be. Um, Actually, I didn't really have any expectations. I went wondering, if I was got there too late. I was wondering if it was just going to be a small crowd of people because a lot of these protests, that I see, sometimes it's just like a handful of people. Um, but it was like a couple hundred people, Midtown Manhattan, in the middle of everything, in front of Fox News. It got a lot of people's attention. I'm sure a lot of uh, tourists saw. So that was good. But I was really hoping and thinking that it should be more. There should have been more people there. It should have been spilling out into the streets. It should shut it down, like literally, we should be surrounding these buildings with so many people that you can't, you know, that you can't even, uh, that they can't function, right? That they have to figure out a different way inside of the building or not go to the building at all. I think, we need to start doing that. We need to step it up. And there needs to be more organization. I wish there was more of a centrally organized protest community. There's just so many different factions. I wish it was kind of more organized into one definite, like, this is the place to go. Um, but yeah, um, that's kind of all I have to say about that. Um, but yeah, um, so um, we are. Let's check out the markets. Why don't we do that? What's going on in the markets today? Well, we are pretty flat today, a little ups and downs. Right before in lunch, we were in the red a little bit, but we're up a little bit. Still way down. I wonder if any price changes have gone into effect yet. I don't think they have. Um, but the Dow is kind of hovering, you know, not too much in the way of gains. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a really big sell off right before the close today. Um, S&P, we're all like up 0.5% today so far. A little dip in the morning. Um, but let's let's see what happens. I don't think there's a lot of news about um, tariffs. That's just gonna come in time. It's all like every fucking thing this maniac is doing. We don't really know. We don't really know what the consequences are gonna be until days, weeks, months from now. As people adjust to the tariffs, um, and as people adjust to the tariffs, and we find out what products we're going to be paying more for. Um, and it's just so uncertain. Like, here's another one, like Trump official dangles prospect of reducing Canada and Mexico tariffs. Commerce Secretary suggested a compromise might be reached to reduce the tariff following a day of turmoil. Um, you know, the Commerce Secretary said that Trump could lower the tariffs, but it's like it, it's so like this is not how you run a country. You can't like on a whim just decide to do something and then immediately take it back. Like it's insane how disruptive these like shooting from the hip policies are. Um, we don't know. Like I don't know how if my grocery prices are going to go up. I don't know if my electricity prices are going to go up. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with egg prices. Nobody seems to be concerned about that anymore, and nobody in the government seems to be concerned about that anymore. The only thing the federal government and Trump and the Republicans seem to be concerned about is fentanyl, which is I mean, it's an issue. It's definitely an issue, but what affects everybody is prices. And I don't know, like I don't want to buy anything right now, or I want to like stock up on food for a little bit, but I'm going to be very wary about how much money I spend, knowing that potentially everything from gas to electricity to groceries is going to fluctuate in price over the next couple months. So I'm not going to be really buying anything. I don't think a lot of Americans are going to be buying much of anything anytime soon. And what is that going to do for the economy, right? I mean, if nobody's buying anything, then that adjusts. I'm sure that affects inflation. I'm not an economist, but I'm sure that affects inflation and interest rates and consumer spending. Uh, Affects companies that sell goods. So on top of managing the tariffs, they're probably managing, working, trying to figure out what to do if people are buying less. I'm sure it's going to send stock prices down. And then and then in like the next day, you're gonna take the tariffs back. Um, it's crazy. It's crazy how chaotic this all is. Everything is, it's like chaos reigns supreme in this administration, from Doge to foreign policy to tariffs to, economic woes. Um, I work in the television and film business, and I was talking to my buddies yesterday, um, about how a lot of our work is going overseas. There's a lot of television shows and movies that aren't being shot in New York anymore, or LA, or Atlanta. A lot of it's going overseas, probably because the work is cheaper. The market for television shows is global now. It's not these American companies, ABC, NBC, CBS. They're not the only ones making TV shows anymore, and Amazon is a global Amazon is a global company. Netflix is more of a global company. Um, Hulu, all these streaming services, um, are global. So a lot of our work is leaving, is leaving the country. And who's going to want, with all this stability in here, what what movie studio, what TV studio is going to, want to stay in a country where, you don't know how much you're going to be paying for lumber for the sets. You don't know how much you're going to be paying for lighting equipment, for new equipment, for, cables to run your power, for monitors, for cameras. If all these tariffs are, which I'm sure they will, they're going to affect prices. And how, if I'm a company, I'd rather go someplace where the economy's more stable and shoot my show there. And I think we're seeing that happening in my business, and it's it's going away, and we don't really know if it's going to come back. Um, there are shows being shot here, but it's not enough to sustain everybody in the business. So it's worrying, and I don't know. I don't know if that's affecting other industries. I can only talk from personal experience. Um, it's very, it's just really concerning, uh, like everything else. And you know, chaos is reigning in the country right now, and it's very it's worrying, to say the least. Um, oh, look at this. On a completely different note, this caught my attention right away. Look at this. Scientists are still unraveling the mysteries of the pig butt worm, a bizarre deep sea creature first spotted in 2001. Ooh, let's read about this. I want to know more about the pig butt worm. Mm-hmm. I don't. Oh my God. Fuck this. Oh my God. Scientists discovered the pigbutt worm, a bizarre bioluminescent deep sea creature in 2001, found at the depths of 2,700 to 7,200 feet. This translucent worm remains a mystery. Feeding on marine snow, it glows blue when disturbed. Even after 20 years, researchers are still uncovering the secrets about this odd looking, drifting organism. Mmm, I love it. Um, oh, and if anyone else is curious, in the deep ocean, marine snow, also known as ocean dandruff, is a continuous shower of mostly organic detritus falling from the upper layers of the water column. It is a significant means of exporting energy from the light-rich photic zone to the aphotic zone below, which is referred to as the biological pump. Mmm. Oh, yeah. Mmm. Biological pump. Mmm. Big butt worm. Mmm. Mmm. I love me some big butt worm. Look at that thing. Ooh, yeah. Yes. It should be more like the pig vag worm. That looks more like a vagina than a butt. Um, but yeah. So shit's not fun right now. I don't know who it's fun for, but it's not fun for a lot of us. Um, so, yeah, very disturbing. Um, and it's like this too. Like I didn't even watch this. I didn't watch the. I didn't watch the State of the Union. I don't want to. I think it's just going to be too depressing. I didn't really see what Al Green did. Um, but it's like, can't you do? Isn't there like something else you can do besides yelling and like? Can't you just like stop it? can't you? Like, how do you stop it? It's just it's like you feel so helpless because you are helpless because there's no way out. Um, and it's a shame. It really is. Um, let's check out. Let's see what Quiver Quantitative has for us today. Uh, Trump pauses military aid to Ukraine. I like this. This is not normal. I like this. Like, very subtle. Um, um, but it's like, I don't know. How are we, where are we going to go? Where are we going to go? What's going to happen? I don't know. It's so shitty. Like, and this shit's crazy too. Let's listen to this. Why don't we? Why don't we listen to this? Like, I didn't hear it, but
I have a message tonight for the incredible people of Greenland. We strongly support your right to determine your own future. And if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for national security and even international security, and we're working with everybody involved to try and get it. But we need it really for international world security, and I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it.
Like, Jesus Christ, man.
We will keep...
Like, what the fuck? That's another nation's, like, what is happening? Like, what? Has another president ever been like this? Like, back, like, has any other president done anything like that?
And I also have a message.
Oh my God, I can't listen to that. It's crazy. We're gonna get it one way or another. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. I don't really have much today to talk about. I was kind of busy processing my photos. Maybe I'll put a little highlight reel and post them. I'll post them on Reddit. I'll post them on my Reddit account. I'll also probably put a little video together and post it on my YouTube channel. So yeah, I posted. Thank you if you're watching from Reddit. Look at this. Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing all of this. Disrupt the propaganda machine. Everyone share evidence of our protests via photos and videos all over the internet. Our press is compromised. We need to be our own journalists so that more Americans know what's going on. Americans, Canadians, Europeans can all do this to help. That's a good point. Winkins burst. Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, it's like I was saying before, it's very it was encouraging but also disheartening to go to this protest because I thought it needed to be more. I think it has to be more if we're going to affect change and make these people think twice about what they're doing. But yeah, it needs to happen. It needs to happen more. And yeah, I agree too, right? The press really isn't covering this. I always like to give everything the benefit of the doubt and not get too conspiracy theory about everything. I like to. I'm more of a what you see on the surface is most likely the answer. Not all the time, but In most cases, I find that that's true. Is the press actively suppressing information about the protests? I mean, right now, I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think there's just so much to cover, um, so much going on in the country and the world right now that, you know, protests. I mean, right here you have on the cover front page of the New York Times is a picture of a protest. Um, you know, are we getting a lot of details about these protests or advertisement from these news outlets about the protests? No. I mean, is it up to them? I don't really think it is. I think it's their duty to cover them. I did see some press at the protest yesterday. And again, I just don't think that there is enough of it. I don't think there's enough people at these protests to make them as newsworthy, um, as we all think they should be. I know the J up in Vermont, the JD Vance protests got a lot of coverage from what I saw on news outlets. Um, but I think there needs to be more of us, and I think that's the problem. That's a big problem in this country right now is people aren't participating. You know, over from like about a third of eligible voters in this country just didn't vote at all. Um, we're not participating in elections. We're not participating in protesting. Um, and I don't know what the deal is. I mean, I can guess. Is it complacency? Are we just comfortable? Even if we don't have what we need, are we just comfortable as a nation? I mean, we can, I don't think there's a lot of us going hungry. There's a lot of us, you know, living paycheck to paycheck. But we have our phones, we have our TV shows, we have our social media. And you know, is that comforting enough to enough people, to basically keep them from going out and participating in these protests? I don't know. Um, but what we can be doing, those of us that are active and those of us that are involved, um, I think what we need to be doing is the spreading the news as much as we can. Um, just like this person, just like where am I? Just like Winkins Burst said too. Everyone needs to share evidence. You need to share evidence. You need to share it online. And I think also we need to share these photos, and we need to also encourage people with our photos. Like what I just did. NYC Fox News Protest yesterday. Um, there there needs to be comments in your posts that share links to these sites, that share links to Protest NYC, that share links to 5051. And we need to be, I think it needs to be, more in depth. Our posts need to be more in depth than just um, here's a photo. This is what I did yesterday. It needs to be here's a photo. You should be here too. Here's the link to get involved. That needs to be part of our social media presence. Um, and that's what I think we can be doing. Those of us that are going to these protests, that's what we need to be doing, is encouraging encouraging others to do this. And the more people we get, the more we can interrupt. Um, and I think that's the most important thing, and that's what shuts down governments is just an overwhelming amount of people. It's a numbers game. You need as many people as possible. You know, um, and that's what needs to happen. And I don't think it's happening on the level that it needs to right now. Um, I mean, it's also cold. It's also winter time. Maybe we'll see a pickup over the summer, but for the shit that's going on in the world and in our government today, I don't think weather should stop anybody. Um, but we'll see. We'll see We'll see what happens. Um, yeah. So, what I want to say, um, I'm gonna try. I have a couple settings. I'm just gonna kind of troubleshoot with everybody right now. Um, I forgot. I set some hotkeys on my OBS. I want to make like little clips um, for my live stream to kind of encourage more people to watch. So what I want to do is make a clip of something. Um, Make a clip of something that I'm watching. Um, so let's go to photos. I'm just gonna do this little experiment. We're gonna free that in. Oh yeah. And what I want to do, where are my hotkeys? I have my hotkeys set. I'm not sure about, I'm not sure how to make, okay, so let's see. F6 is my hotkey for recording. So if I hit F6, okay, so now I'm recording and stop recording. So if I buffer, if I have it on a delay, what was the other hotkey? So that was that. Hotkeys. Start replay buffer. Okay. F5. F5. Cannot find your stream. I don't know what's happening here. This is my stream. That's it. Okay, great. So, I don't know what I'm doing here. Anyway, all right. So maybe I'll fuck around with that at a different time. But let's finish up. The last thing I want to say is another way you can get involved. This is what Bernie Sanders and AOC, my kind of like my idols in the government right now. They all are always talking about 5 calls. And this is another way you can affect change. Other than voting, which we can't vote until next November, and even then, I don't think we can make a real difference until midterms. But in the meantime, especially if you live in a red district, please use 5 calls. 5 calls connects you directly to your representative in Congress and your senators, and it gives you a script. It gives you a direct link to their phone, and here you go. Like, you want to talk about RFK and his efforts to undermine child vaccinations, especially with concerns to the measles outbreaks. Here's your script. Here's the phone number. And you give them a call, you leave a message, or you talk to one of their representatives, their people in their office. They take it down. They take down your information, and they, I'm pretty sure they pass it along, or they keep some tally about what everybody's talking about when everybody's calling. And this is something you can definitely do to affect change, especially if you live in a red state. I mean, especially if you live in a red district or a red state, right? Disrupt. Make sure these people know that you're unhappy. AOC has said previously that in the past it's been mostly Republicans calling in to complain by the overwhelming majority, and until us Democrats start doing it, we're not gonna put any pressure on these representatives to question their policies. So 5 calls is a great way to do it. Showing up to town halls. That's one of the things that I've been encouraged by are these town hall protests. Let's see. Here we go. Republicans told to scrap town halls after avalanche of protests. I mean, this is great. This is disruption, right? This is what needs to happen. The purpose of getting involved, the purpose of getting our voices out there, we can't, we can't vote these people out. We can't force these people out. So in the meantime, we need to make our voices heard, and we need to disrupt as much as we can. I think those are the goals, is to be heard and to disrupt. And what's been happening at these Republican town halls, I can't find any videos. Let's see. Let's find some videos. What's been happening at these Republican town halls is that people, is that they're disrupting. Okay, town hall disruptions. It's weird. See, I wonder, this is kind of weird, right? I'm having... It's funny that I can't find videos that easily of disruptions in town hall meetings. I mean, there's this.
Hey, hey!
It's too bad. We know that government has been mismanaging money for decades. And we want this getting up there now. All right, hold on one moment here. Okay, again, you folks who are just popping off with stupid remarks, you're not taking into account the people sitting next to you. There's an opportunity for you to sound off, but not right now. And because you're not smart enough to know that, get out.
My name is Robert
What
Norris.
I'm doing up here is I'm simply over-talking you because your voice is meaningless right now. And we're just taking care of the rabble-rousers. And eventually what's going to happen is everything's going to settle down and we'll get back to hearing the legislators. Because really, you didn't come here to listen to me.
Who are these people? Who are these people? Who are these people? Someone. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? You guys get your hands off her.
Let me see your badge.
Where are your badges? Who are you and where are your badges?
What's your badge number?
You've been told too many times to close your mouth, and you don't close your mouth. You'll have an opportunity to speak. No,
Where's the badge? Where are their badges? Who are these people?
I thought Republicans believed in free speech.
Who are these guys? No, I'm Share Shores. Who are these guys?
There's that, that very forcible removal, disruption. Let's see. Where is it? It's so weird that,
And we have Rebecca Reinhold from Leavenworth, Kansas. Is that you? Okay. She says, the veterans are hurting. Why aren't you helping? Okay.
I'm the vice president of the
So,
local in Leavenworth, Kansas.
I am on the Appropriations Subcommittee, which oversees the Veterans Affairs, and we're going to be making sure that we have the appropriate funds.
see, it's like, they just talk over these people. The town hall is a chance for the community to participate and ask questions to the local representative. But, a lot of these Republicans just like to talk over everybody. But this is what should be happening. You should be going and disrupting these people, because they're just going to talk over you, dismiss you. You need to put pressure on these people. You need to disrupt. We need so many people, and this is great that this is happening, and more of this needs to happen. This is a great channel too, More Perfect Union. I highly recommend it. It's a pro-union. Its mission is to build, here we go. Mission is to build power for working people. Here's what that means. We report on the real struggles and challenges of working class from a working class perspective, and we attempt to connect those problems to potential solutions. We report on the abuses of wrongdoing of corporate power, and we seek to hold accountable the ultra rich who have too much power over America's political and economic systems. We are an independent, nonprofit newsroom. To support our work, please follow us or contribute at the links below. I highly recommend this YouTube channel, More Perfect Union. They have a lot of lengthy, in-depth videos on different issues and crises going on around the world and in our country. I always like their videos. They're very in-depth. I'm sure, they have shorts, but most their meat is in these videos, and they're usually pretty lengthy, but always worth a watch. They're so in-depth. They go into it. It's a great YouTube channel, and I highly recommend it. So in conclusion, I'm gonna wrap it up, and what I think, to wrap it all up, what are we gonna do? See, this is, sorry, this needs to stop too. Democrats asking me for money all the time. So I get so much junk mail and so many text messages asking for money. It's like, these leaders in the federal government, the Democrats, it just seems like, to me, it's a lot of whining, and it's a lot of asking for financial contributions, and I just think I think you're sending the wrong message. But anyway, to go over today, protest, get as many people to protest with you. Numbers. We need lots of people. Head to Pro One. If you're in New York City, that's a great site for you to go to. If you're not in New York City, I recommend 5051. I'll put links to all this too. 5051, 50 protests, 50 states, one movement. I recommend going here. If you're not in New York City, get on the phone, 5 calls, call your representatives, share. And as you share, encourage people to get out of their house and come on down to a protest. That's kind of, that's what needs to happen. And that's kind of like pretty much all I really wanted to say today. Thank you for joining me. I will continue to work on improving the channel. If you guys have any suggestions for things you want me to talk about, I'm all ears, and I would love to take your suggestions. I'm always looking for more viewers. I did message the other day. I remember we were talking about this article, 7 Signs We're Living. This is an article from 2012, 7 Signs We're Living in a Post-Privacy Era by Helen A.S. Popkin, who works at Forbes now. I did find her on LinkedIn. I reached out to her to kind of get her thoughts on this article about 15 years later, because it was just interesting to me how much our views on privacy and our concerns about privacy in the last 10 to 15 years have kind of, a lot of it's gone out the window, and we've kind of let a lot of this stuff we were concerned about not too long ago just kind of take over. So as a little aside, I did message her. I'm probably not going to hear back from her, but it would be interesting, and if I do hear back from her, I will let you know. I also would love to talk to other people. It would be nice to have some discourse on the channel, and actually video chat or call and talk to some people to get their thoughts too. So if you'd like to be on the channel and you want to call in and we can have like a talk, that'd be great. I'm open to that. I'm gonna probably reach out to a few friends of mine. I think that would make for more interesting content, and yeah, I think I'd like to take the channel in that direction. So all that being said, thank you guys very much for watching, those few of you that have, and I will be back hopefully tomorrow, and thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, please like the videos, comment, just any kind of engagement I would love, and let me know. So very nice to hear from all of you, and I will see you tomorrow. All right, take care. Bye.